Hello again and welcome. Last episode I spoke with instructional designer Lori about what good communication is and some of the key components. Moving on, this episode I will be continuing my conversation with Lori on communication and talent development's role in informing and influencing. Stay tuned to learn more. What are some of the ways that training and development professionals can utilize communication in order to inform and influence?
Well, first of all, they're expected to interact with executives and articulate how they can help the organization to accomplish its goals and objectives. By doing so, they must be able to customize the message, read and react to a learner's body language, facilitate question and answer sessions, handle tough questions, and deliver memorable messages that learners will use. Some of the ways that talent and development professionals can inform and influence would be presenting the value of developing talent. Okay. Employees are the outward face of the company, and they should be a positive reflection of your company. By having employees attend professional development, it takes the employees from competent to excellence, which only benefits the company. It also ensures that their knowledge and skills stay relevant and up to date, and that standing still will cause the company to be left behind as peers expand their knowledge, their skills, and their services. So making sure that the employer understands the value of making the investment in their employees will help them to improve knowledge, which then leads to improved confidence to be able to perform the skills.
As talent development professionals consider the value of investing in a particular training topic, I do think there has to be some business acumen there, right? And understanding how this particular topic is going to improve performance and ultimately improve the bottom line when they're speaking to maybe their superiors or who's ever the one with the budget and the one passing out the money. So
well, and it also it boosts morale, and it also gives them ideas and inspiration, which benefits the business's clients. It also helps the employees, as you said, when the employer is making an investment in them, it helps them to feel valued. It's not enough to just state a company's goals, but the connection also needs to be made between the employee's work and the company's goals, and how what they do interconnects with what others are working on.
Well, you mentioned that people would feel inspired and motivated knowing that the company's investing in them, but sometimes I think generally, training gets a bad rap. Some companies, employees feel like, oh, not another training I have to go to. Oh my gosh, taking so much time. So I do think, communicating value not only to the employer or to the department head, right, but also in some situations communicating value to the employees, explaining why this training is worth your time away from your job. Is also a different use of communicating value.
Well, and by having your employees attend conferences, for example, is one of the largest contributors to new information, and it can benefit employee retention since it helps to cultivate and preserve the best talent. As talent development professionals, we also have to support management as a consultant, an advisor, a coach, or an advocate. So the first thing we'll talk about is when we're presenting ideas. It's important to know our audience and to plan the presentation and leave out what they already know. Think about the people whose approval you need from this presentation and consider, what's in it for me, that factor for them. It's also important to ask questions and talk less and listen deeply. Consider the decision-making style of the person you're trying to influence. Are they analytical, emotional? They're a thinker. They want evidence, they want facts and comparisons and benchmarks, or are they a feeler? Or do they tend to lean more towards the emotional realm where people are benefited and values are honored or harmony is upheld? Consider the message, think about what, immediately overview your suggestion and then give 2 or 3 compelling reasons or ideas why your idea is valid, and then back it up with solid evidence, whether that be statistics, the voice of the customer, case studies, data, any of those things. Just make sure it's aligned with the values of the decision maker or the person you are trying to inform or influence. And then lastly, prove your feasibility of how your idea would be implemented.
Can you give maybe an example of how you might put all of these suggestions together into persuasive statement?
Sure. So for the what, the what is that you need an additional rep to help you run point on a campaign. So your why would be, you did the homework. We calculated the social media components alone are going to take 200 to 250 staffing hours, and that's way too much for one person. So your how would be, I realize that this adds significant cost, so I've been looking at ways that we can adjust the budget. Can I have your thoughts on some suggestions that I have? So you're presenting the solution at the outcome, and you've done the homework to explain your why and what you need.
Awesome.
Okay, and then the most important thing is to always seek feedback and learn and grow from the feedback that you receive.
Well, thank you, Lori, for sharing your insights on talent development's role in informing and influencing. In our next episode, we'll be discussing defusing and depersonalizing anger. Until next time.